Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 327.
327.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. This week is the main kickoff of the holidays at Walt Disney World. So, there's a lot going on already, but more, especially November 8th, is sort of like the property-wide kickoff. Like Disney Springs has their Christmas tree trail. And then, of course, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and such. So, if you want to visit during this time frame, the holidays, it's shorter than the Halloween season, so check with MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel, and they can set you up.
Also, the holidays begin at Disneyland, the Disneyland Resort, on the 8th as well.
And I look forward to seeing that this year.
So just like in real life, though, we're going to go back in time a little bit. It's still Halloween. Less than a week ago, it was full Halloween, and as we do every year, we celebrate the Halloween Eve at Disney's Fort Wilderness Campground.
And I think we're talking a little bit less about this year because Christmas started so quickly. But we do love Halloween here, and we were here on the 30th and the 31st for a little bit as well. And so this is a golf cart parade. It is, the last number of years, it's been on the 30th, not on Halloween itself. And I saw a mom's post online, and it said it was Halloween Day, but it is not.
Yes.
So always check with Fort Wilderness if you're going to head over there for like next year. So we're looking at some of the carts.
That's
and
right.
some of them will be our favorite carts this year.
So very, very nice. I see Bullseye here, and there's Jack Skellington, a little Oogie Boogie action. Again, all these carts that you're seeing are made, well, almost all of them are made by campers, regular guests.
Right. Some of them are Fort Wilderness cast
like
members.
the first one with Chip and Dale, of course.
So here is a stormtrooper and an AT-AT, and it was really smoke in there. They did not get into the top 6, which surprised me.
And the Bantha here, which I believe did get into the top 6, which was very nice cart. And of course, one of our favorites is Slinky Dog.
I had 2 favorites, and Slinky Dog was one of them. And when we talked to the owner, it took him quite some time to put this together. And I thought this was just a lot of fun. It's it's always fun to see something really creative, and that one was. And then there's also this pirate ship. There were 2 pirate ships this year. I'm thinking one of them may have been here before. I'm not positive, but there's always like a pirate ship in here.
And you have dog catchers, and the actual dogs kind of reminds me of the old float in the Mickey's Boo-to-You parade.
With Cruella de Vil.
Yeah.
And this is a Toy Story Land float. And
so detailed that one is.
Really, just slow that part down because it really is, again, one of the ones that did not make it into the top 6, and I think that one should have as well.
And it's the taco truck. There's always a food cart every year, and this was very fun.
Like there was a Dunkin' Donuts one, which was a lot of fun a few years back. So that was in the top 6. There was 6 that we could vote on, like the campground. I guess the cast members voted on the top 6, and then guests voted on who would be like the top 3.
And another Cruella de Vil cart. This is the second Pirates boat kind of cart, and this was also in the top 6. We're not going to say who won yet. We'll do that at the end when we look at all the finalists.
And our second favorite, or I'm going to say our top 2.
Willy Wonka.
Somebody called him Willy Wonka, yes.
You can hear it on the video. The guest next to me is like, oh, it's Willy Wonka.
But it was a Dreamfinder, and so I thought he did a really great job as well.
And we'll see him at the end. He did make it into the top 6. Merry Thanksgiving. Very creative. I thought that was really cool. And this is very fitting for Fort Wilderness. You have a covered wagon looking thing with horses. And this is a classic. Looks like the old classic Mickey that you would see covering the lights back in the old days. And I guess this is the Wizard of Oz right there.
I think that's supposed to be like a tribute maybe to the Great Movie Ride.
Oh, that's great. I didn't even think of that. That's fantastic. So very, very nice. Here we go. Some of the finalists. Again, I had mentioned the Bantha earlier and pulling in. They have a different spot where they're lining them all up. And of course, the taco truck also we had mentioned is in the top 6.
And I thought that was kind of a fun and unique cart. And here is the Dreamfinder.
And of course, he has Imagination music playing nice and loudly. So if you watch the video we'll link to, you can actually hear it. So that makes it, a lot of these carts come with music too.
Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, like, the ones that I think will win often are not the ones that win. Like, for me, it's either going to be Slinky Dog or it's going to be, like, the Imagination Dreamfinder. And it wasn't either of those.
So we're going to spill the beans. Here's the winner right here, which is the pirate ship. Number 2 was the taco truck, and number 3 was the
Slinky
Dog. Slinky Dog, of course. Yes.
And I'm like, oh, Dreamfinder will definitely win. But the thing is,
nobody knows who he is.
Regular guests may not know. Yeah.
So sad.
It is kind of. But it was really fun. So also the guests decorate pumpkins for a contest, and some of them are real pumpkins and some of them are synthetic pumpkins, but a lot of them are real, which is something I really like, because all across property now are synthetic pumpkins, which is nice because displays can be out a long time, but there's something about a real carved pumpkin also to me.
Oh, there's here's your favorite of all pumpkins.
I told him don't spend too much time on this one.
Well, you felt it was too scary to see the inside of the clown.
I didn't need to see that again.
Just the clown enough.
Or just show it. So, but it was really well done.
Oh, there's the winner, by the way, Jack and Sally, number 36.
You know what? And I didn't even put that in my article, but afterwards I'm like, that's a really nicely done pumpkin. There was a couple Olafs. You can see one of them here. There's a lot of designs that are Disney, but they're not all Disney. You've got the pirates and
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, which kind of was Disney. That they appeared at the Disney MGM Studios back in the day.
That was a long time ago.
It was. We're older type people here, but so creative, so nice. I like the Maleficent there, and of course, what a nice Lumiere up there.
Lumiere is one of my favorites here. I think he either won or was in the top 3. I think somebody told us that he did really well.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly on these, but again, very creative, and I like the mix. This is the only place anywhere, at least as far as I know, on Disney property that there are some real pumpkins still being judged.
A lot of them. I mean, Disney's Fort Wilderness Campground sells real pumpkins to guests so that they can carve them.
So there's a little meet and greet here at the Beach Bash. Again, they have a little party out on the beach on the day before Halloween, and Chip and Dale were meeting.
Well, we saw them the next day as well. Now, Clementine's Beach is no longer...
Well, it's changed. It's now moving to the right of the boat dock.
Yes, but it's not too much of a beach at this point. So it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out in the future.
So now we're actually on Halloween day. Actually, it's Halloween evening, and we're at Disney's All-Star Sports Resort, and here comes Goofy in his Halloween finery.
All the Disney resorts do have characters. They don't really specify on signage and such, so we don't always know who's where, but we get out and we get to see some of them. So Goofy was here, and I think he was at Port Orleans as well. I saw some pictures of him there.
In the same outfit.
Same outfit, right. So he may have been elsewhere as well at some point on this day. And so Donald and Panchito were here at the All-Star Music.
I like the nice colorful background that he has, and no wait at all, just walk right up to Panchito. And later on, when we were walking back, we noticed he was part of the dance party doing some dance moves. So it was very good if you wanted to meet Panchito.
I thought that was I think this is just really nice. And so here is Mickey, and also we'll see Minnie, and this is at the All-Star Movies Resort. And I think this isn't the first year that they're in kind of a fancy costume.
Well, he had a white outfit, same thing with the top hat, very formal look. But I've not seen this, the black classic look in him in a long time. And it fits the whole movie's theme.
And this was actually the one place where we did see a line as far as the All-Stars. The other two characters that we saw, no line when we went, really, except for maybe a couple guests.
Well, Mickey and Minnie are just so popular. No matter where you go, they will always have a line. And here is Minnie, and what a beautiful dress that she has. Goes perfectly with the big cheese.
And I think that we have seen her either in this costume or in something similar. So anyway, I think you had her show her dress off, or somebody had her show her dress off.
Yes, we were with professional character people before, or at this event. Characters. So yes, and it was. It's always fun to go with a group, and of course, one of our good friends from Paris was in town, so we got to hang out with him for a little while.
Well, we hung out with him all
night.
Day.
Yes, what a pleasure.
Including at Fort Wilderness at night, and so we'll show a little of that later. But this was, and there is Pluto. We didn't meet Pluto, but you got a little of him coming in.
Well, isn't it nice to just be walking around Disney's All-Star Sports and you look down the hall and here comes Pluto just walking, nobody around, it was just a very nice, a relaxed way to meet the characters. And I believe this collar here is part of that whole Hong Kong Halloween look that you see some of the characters in, including Goofy earlier.
I wish Pluto would have a little bit more of an outfit.
Sometimes he has a hat. With the bat ones, he has a nice black hat that he wears.
He should have like a vest or something. So we had heard that Daisy and Donald were over at Saratoga Springs, and I love these costumes I've never seen. So that's kind of why I wanted to head over there. And Daisy looked really cute. Like there's something about giving her an outfit like this, and she really gets into it,
Well, there was Western music in the background, so she was trying to do her best Western dance there. So that was very good.
Yeah, I think there was all kinds of music in the background. They were having a little bit of a party, and that's the way.
And a cakewalk.
I didn't even see that. I didn't see that.
Number one duck. Here's the number one duck.
And here comes Donald in his Western outfit. And so it's really interesting to see how many guests come out for this. The guests who are actually at the resorts often don't really, like Donald and Daisy didn't really have too much of a line either. So I guess the guests who did want to see them did see them.
Well,
but it wasn't huge.
In fairness to Donald and Daisy, there was a cakewalk going on, and she kept saying you can win a free cake if you do it right. So that was happening as we were doing this. You were so concentrating on meeting Donald, you didn't even hear the cakewalk.
I wouldn't have even understood what that meant.
Even though they described it in full over the microphone.
Obviously, I wasn't listening.
Here is another Daisy is quickly changed outfits over at the Contemporary.
And I think this might be a Hong Kong style outfit. I know that we have received, and I don't want to say received, but a number of the outfits that the characters have worn in Hong Kong have ended up being worn here as well. And she was really cute. And there's Chippendale, and I think again Hong Kong. I think that is.
These are known as the bat outfits. See how they have hats on? Just like I mentioned, Pluto has a matching hat when he's with them for this. And I had to lighten it up. It was very, very dark. They didn't have much light at that point. At least here, Brer Bear. Now we're over at Disney's Fort Wilderness Campground, and it had a little bit of light, so we didn't need to do that brightening there.
And we weren't expecting to see them. We were over at the campfire,
there's Bastian.
And all of a sudden I see Brer Bear in the woods.
He really was in the woods. He was peering out, out through the trees.
He was kind of looking towards everyone. And it's like I said, okay, so I went to see what was going on, and they were sort of in an area you would never think to go to.
Never. Totally hidden way in the middle of nowhere. And look at Brer Fox just grabs the lantern. He said he's looking for Brer Rabbit. I don't think he's going to find him in the swamp there, but we had a lot of fun with these guys.
We weren't really expecting to see characters at Fort Wilderness, and we ended up with 4 of them. And this was especially fun because it was so unexpected. They were just out in the dark, kind of I don't want to say in the middle of nowhere, but in an area you wouldn't expect. And there are Chippendale again in their pirate and vampire outfits.
And we stayed for the campfire. I have not done a campfire in quite a long time. And it seems like they have the same cowboy here singing as we've seen years and years ago. So it's nice to have that, that past connection.
And this is Halloween night, and they used to have the Headless Horseman out here meeting, and they haven't done that. They had a special one last year that we paid for, but there was not very many guests here to see the Ichabod.
The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, which we saw both. And you say you hadn't seen Mr. Toad maybe ever, and of course the Ichabod, the Headless Horseman movie we've seen many times. And speaking of the Headless Horseman, this is the only way we actually saw him on Halloween night in one of the camp displays.
And I just want to say I was surprised at how unattended it was. And you probably saw guests there, but it was not busy at all.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was trick-or-treating going on around the campground.
We walked right up and had a front row seat, and that never happens.
And so guests do decorate their campsites, and not all do, but a lot. The ones who do often go all out, and you can see here you have the whole Jurassic Park theme. But there's a lot of good campsites, and we didn't have nearly as much time as we usually do to really enjoy these campsites, because for a couple nights it's really it is spectacular.
I mean, look at all this. What a wonderful display. And there's so many. And you mentioned there's a lot more scary displays.
I said that as we were walking around. I said, it used to be very, very Disney. And then you'd have like one scary one, and now it's really
There's still a mixture.
Mix.
I see Mickey in the background. I see some Jack Skellington, but then you have some of these witches and scary werewolves and things.
But it feels like a lot more of that also than there used to be.
Even there's some nice fog elements here. And, it was a nice, pleasant surprise. We were taking the boat back to the Contemporary, and we saw fireworks going on. And it was a really nice way to end the day watching the fireworks from the boat.
That was wonderful. Like, to be in the boat and all of a sudden, I just was not expecting that. And I took this little clip
with
here.
The phone. Yeah, this is the phone footage you took, and it came out really nice.
So that was October 31st, and I think that already they have the Christmas up at Fort Wilderness, you said, didn't you?
Well, that's right. Jess, you're going to snap your fingers, and here we are. It's Christmas time, the very next morning.
But Fort Wilderness, you told me, has Christmas now.
The tree is already up there.
But right now, we're at Disney's Contemporary Resort. The next day, November 1st, just like last year, they opened up their gingerbread display.
For the 10th year, this was an anniversary year, and we have Chippendale. We've seen a lot of Chippendale this week.
So they used to have a gingerbread displays before this one, but for the last 10 years, they've had it as a backdrop, it's a small world backdrop. And like they had a Frozen theme for a while, and they've had a Cinderella theme, and they had it's a small world theme as well. So this year, and they're just cutting the ribbon here, they had a First Family. This year, there are 10 items on the castle. And there's pastry chef Jeff Barnes who designed this. You can see a little Elsa. Like right now, you can see a little Elsa in the background. And there's 10 of those. And then I think there's 9 hidden Mickeys.
And we're going to show a few of the hidden mementos of previous years up close in a few minutes after we're done looking at Chippendale. Ham it up for the camera.
They were going for quite some time. I have so many. I probably took like 300 pictures during this event. Especially Chippendale, they were so fun. We even got
to get pictures with them, which is very surprising. They were out for a full half hour. In case you want to make one of these on your own, here is a selection of the ingredients.
And they really work hard. They started in July getting everything baked so that they could put it all together. And there's usually a cover on this Cinderella's slipper.
I like it better without the cover, actually.
It does look, I think I like it better too. So you can see, again, a Cinderella theme. And now they look almost like little kids almost. And
like cookies. You would think they would be cookies that one could buy in that shape.
They should make cookies of
Every
them.
year we always suggest that, especially when they have those the Frozen themes. Here we go. Here is the five-legged goat and a small world character, and those are a tribute to past
displays,
yes, right?
Which are based in the same backdrop.
And Anna and Elsa also you can see there.
Well, I see Elsa. I don't see
Anna.
Anna's to the left.
Yes.
That's because we have the little record button up, and it's totally
there's
blocking
a big
her.
microphone in our way on the screen.
So there's a variety of different treats to purchase, including a plant-based gingerbread there for the first time.
And shingles.
Ever.
We had one of those for breakfast, the breakfast of champions.
And they have, a gingerbread boy, which I think Chef Jeff had told me last year that was like their most popular item.
Look at this. Chef Jeff's face is right on the box.
And this is a 10th anniversary box, and it's 4 of their most popular cookies, but smaller. And that will be something that's very popular.
Very nice mug, because I don't have enough mugs in my life.
Yes, and ornaments and all kinds of goodies. These are items that you can get really in any shop. Those like the Rice Krispie treats,
and
but others are special.
We did purchase one of these limited edition pins. It's actually right here while we're recording, and here is what it looks like on the inside. And Chef Jeff was there for opening and signing, so we had him sign our pin.
And he doesn't always sign that first day. A lot of times it won't be till another day, so I thought that was very nice that he did that.
So we also took a quick ride over to Disney's Animal Kingdom because there is a special character that was making his debut, and we wanted to see him in person.
Well, it's not his debut, but I really love Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures because Santasaurus every year. I mean, this is a dinosaur that is here all year round, But I really like when he becomes Santasaurus.
Well, we showed him in his Halloween costume, his vampire outfit on our show, too.
I forgot, you know what? I totally forgot about that because I don't know that that's something they do every year. But Santasaurus they've been doing for a number of years. And it's not only him, but other dinosaurs are able to be part of the festivities as well.
So let's start looking at some of those little dinosaurs that you discovered. And here is one. I love his sweater, by the way. Very nice. You'll notice a lot of them have these Christmas sweaters.
Well,
ugly sweaters, they call them.
I don't know how ugly they are. They're really actually cute sweaters. And also there's fun decorations on the trees. But I think Chester and Hester's is really one of my favorite stores just to look at the decorations because they're really unique and you feel like the cast members who are decorating here probably take a lot of enjoyment, dressing these dinosaurs and putting, like in this case, like the peppermint stick in his mouth.
And here we have an Osaurus. I'm not quite sure what kind of dinosaur an Osaurus is, but he looks pretty good to me. And here's some more of your sweaters. These are pictures that you took. I didn't even see all these characters.
Well, I was like, look at the dinosaurs, all around. This one almost looks like he's got a little angel wings also.
Yeah.
And this is actually probably my favorite dinosaur costume with his holly. And we're back to the one that they're all just really adorable. So, and there is Mickey and there's the wreath underneath him. Mickey here is like a puppet. So definitely check out Chester and Hester's. It's at Dino Land USA, and Animal Kingdom will be decorated more than ever. I don't want to say more than ever, but more than last year, definitely.
Now, speaking of decorations, the Magic Kingdom, as of today, is fully decorated. When we were taking this video yesterday, the soldiers still hadn't been installed, but they're there now, and almost everything else was. You could see the tree is beautiful in full force.
And I just want to say, sometimes it's hard to decide on what day to record on because it's like, oh, well, we should try to get this, we should try to get that so that we can fit it into this show. And we really wanted those, not the toy soldiers,
right?
But they weren't there, so we got what we could.
We didn't want it to, take too long since
right.
we're talking Halloween as well. But look at how beautiful the Magic Kingdom looks. We'll be spending a lot of time at the Magic Kingdom starting this Friday with the very first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
And we'll go to 3 of those. Now, Daisy, the day before this, we went to the Magic Kingdom twice, 2 days in a row. Daisy was gone from the window, and I'm like, oh, they must be dressing her up. And they did. And Huey, Dewey, and Louie were all in the window, but they were wearing just sort of shirts, holiday-looking shirts, but they were also dressed overnight. So they're all in, at least Daisy's in like a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party dress. And I don't know if this is the type of costumes that that they wear also, but we'll see. I don't really remember what the guys tend to wear.
Now, one good thing about coming to the Magic Kingdom early in the morning is there's nobody in the Emporium, which was great because this was the first day I had seen these brand new Crocs, $55 Crocs here with fuzzy, they have this fuzzy permanent inside, I guess you would call it insulation.
I don't know.
But I don't think this would be so good if it rains.
Well, they're kind of like slippers. So it's like a slipper interior with a Croc. So it's not like you want to necessarily leave the house with these. This is something I would assume that you'd kind of want to wear inside.
And you cannot remove the insulation. Oh. It is permanent. So.
But you really like them. You said you did.
Well, it's because it's so outrageous. I do think it's very interesting. And the trolley show is all set for the holidays. And this was the first day the trolley was back in force. It had been being refurbished for a little while.
And so the trolley show's been out for 2 or 3 days at this point. The first day I think it didn't have the trolley, and then we saw it yesterday with. So this is probably like the 3rd day that it's been running. And also a Frozen Holiday Wish, which we'll talk about. So there's, and the Jingle Cruise, which we'll also talk about.
Right.
So there is already holiday entertainment here at the Magic Kingdom, but there'll be more coming around property this week.
Pretty much all the holiday entertainment that is included with a regular ticket is going on right now until at least Christmas week. And now we're getting a little preview of something that's going to be new this year for the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. You're going to be able to go on the Speedway and have a holiday overlay of it with lights and music and everything. And they have some of the decorations already out.
And I'm looking forward to seeing what that will look like. I think there's like 4 what they would call an overlays this year, 3 or 4, because they're also going to do the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, I believe, for a holiday show. But this was really good because we got to see the Tron construction.
Yeah, look at this.
Also. And they had just, I don't know if we went both days because we wanted to check out the decorations and such.
This was yesterday, and you could see the final bit of track is, I think they're still just finishing welding it together, but that's what's going on up there at the drop.
And the funny thing is, like, I'm just like, that's different. That's different than yesterday. And I couldn't put my finger on it. I'm like, the swoop is finished. Like, to me, it's like a swoop. You know, it just kind of swoops down.
There's another view of the swoop there. And you can see there's quite a few decorations also in the background of all this. So this will be very interesting. Of course, this happens after dark. It'll be illuminated. I can't wait. This is totally brand new, so I'm looking forward to it. And Space Mountain also with lighting and music this year, new this year.
And I haven't seen that at all during any parties. Like, I had surgery before Mickey's Not So Scary, so I wasn't able to do it at that time. And there were other times we just get so busy that a lot of times I just don't.
Mickey's Royal Friendship Fair, the special holiday edition finale is happening here, and this is great. I really love this. And why don't you tell this story, your Frozen story about this show?
I don't.
When you were watching it, you said it got really loud.
First of all, I want to mention that they didn't have the autumn version this year, and we're like, I guess they're not doing these
Christmas
anymore,
special editions.
But it's nice that the Frozen the holiday one is here, and you can see the stage is being worked on, so that's why all these shrubs are here.
And that's for the taping of the holiday special.
But while I was in the back, everybody's just singing, you know, as soon as Let It Go starts. Like, everybody rushes up as soon as the Frozen segment starts. And then all of a sudden I'm hearing everybody singing Let It Go to the point where I could barely hear the stage. And it's just amazing to me that you know, that Frozen after 6 years is like that.
Very, very popular. And now we're looking at the Jingle Cruise, also very popular, had big lines the first couple of days we were there, and you're looking at some of the special scenes. Here's Trader Sam. We actually rode twice so we can get both sides of the boat.
Well, I did Fast Pass the first day. The second day we got in line at like 9:30 or something.
15-minute
Yeah,
wait.
15 minutes, but by the time we got off, it was like 50 minutes. So go early if you don't have a Fast Pass. Now, here is a Frozen Holiday Wish. This is the 6th year that a Frozen Holiday Wish has been here. Before that, there was like 8 years of Cinderella's Holiday Wish. And so every year, Elsa says, I want to respect the inhabitants of the castle and not do anything.
And then she ices it.
And then she's like, okay, I'll do it, you know.
Oh, and here is Olaf making a special appearance up in the castle.
And that's where the fairy godmother used to be.
Right, that's right. You remember that very well.
The fairy godmother is there in the mornings, that morning show that
right.
We saw a couple days ago, or from a distance. But the fairy godmother still gets to go up there every so often, like every day. And so anyway, what you're seeing here is they're, again, working on the stage.
That's right. This weekend
temporary.
There'll be the taping for the Walt Disney World Christmas special.
Yes.
Or the Disney Parks. I'm sorry, the Disney Parks, because Disneyland is involved too.
I'm not even sure what it's called anymore. But anyway, here she is. She's starting to get that castle lit, and, you know, ice and snow.
Ice and snow. And this is the first time we have seen it lit, of course, for the 2019 Christmas season, and it's so beautiful, and it was wonderful to be there. So many people. It was packed.
It was really, you know, the first night is always busy, but I think once Frozen 2 comes out, it's going to be even busier because everybody loves Frozen.
I wonder if they'll be in their new Frozen 2 outfits for such a thing.
I would love to see that. You know, I mean, they do have Frozen costumes in some areas now, or they've come out specially for that. So I hope that they will at the park soon.
So this is directly after the lighting happened. I'm doing a pan, and you can see the crowd that ended up showing up to watch this. Look at all those people all the way back. Unbelievable.
And I was in a different location. I should have brought my longer lens because I loved where I was. It was just a little too far. But I kind of like to be out of the crowd.
I cannot say I blame you. And here's a wide shot showing the full effect of the castle lighting with the turrets and everything. So beautiful. And we're going to take a quick look down Main Street, USA. I can't believe it. Christmas is here.
Yes. And Cinderella Castle started being lit in 2007 with the Dream Lights. So I think this is the 13th year, and I said 6 years for this. So that's actually, 7? Mm-hmm. We're about halfway point where the Frozen characters have taken over from where Cinderella left off.
So by the time we do our next show, we'll have been to 3 parties. So
Oh
we
my
should have
gosh.
plenty of stuff to talk about
And
for that.
plus, we'll be at Disney's Hollywood Studios tomorrow, but we're probably not even going to discuss that because it's all going to be about the parties.
That's right. Anyway, thanks again to our sponsors, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Yes, thank you to MEI, and check them out. They don't only do Walt Disney World, they do worldwide travel, but they are Disney specialists, and like Becky was just doing Adventures by Disney in Tokyo and Disney Cruise.
We'll have
Like,
to
she
put
does
them to work
everything.
when we finally go to Asia.
Yes, I think that
I think
will
it's
be the
about
case.
time. I think it's Tokyo Disney is calling.
I would actually like to do Hong Kong. I would like to go to Hong Kong.
Me
as well.
too. Same thing here.
So, okay.
We already said it. Next week we're going to have
doing
lots of party information.
Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. We're going to do it so much. But in the
15 hours of party.
The hard thing is at this point, sometimes we really have to work hard to figure out what kind of content we're going to bring. But now it's like we have so much, like we're going to do Animal Kingdom this week. We're going to do Disney's Hollywood Studios this week. We're going to do the Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic and 3 parties plus whatever else we're doing. It's actually hard to decide. I don't see, we're doing the parties,
Right.
but then we have to wait until the next week to be able to share more of the holidays,
Well,
unless
I'd
we
rather-
did like a 2-hour show.
I would rather have more than not enough. So I'm glad that we'll have plenty of content to share for the next couple weeks.
Probably. And then Disneyland eventually, too.
Oh, yes. I can't wait. It's been a while. It's been a number of years since we've been to Disneyland for the holidays, so I cannot wait.
4 years, I think.
All
since
new
that.
effects in It's a Small World holiday. Smells for the first time.
We can't really share that.
Yeah,
though.
we can tell what you think of it.
I'm really looking forward to Disneyland again. It's been like 4 years since we did that for the holidays, and so we have so much coming up. And I just can't believe Friday is Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party.
I can't believe it either. Anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.